Delays between police response to a crime and getting notified on Alert Carolina. We spoke with UNC's police chief to learn what goes on before your phone dings.
And rapper Young Nudy headlines this year's Jubilee. Everything you need to know about UNC's signature spring event.
And more on this Tar Heel tradition, the Bell Tower Climb. All this and more on this week's episode of Carolina Week.
From the UNC Hussman School of Journalism and Media, connecting Carolina's campus and community, this
And welcome to Carolina Week. I'm Kelly Kendall.
And I'm Steven Schlink.
We begin with reports of an assault on Sunday. UNC police say a female student was assaulted and chased by an unidentified man Sunday evening at the intersection of Raleigh Street and South Road. An Alert Carolina message stated the man chased the student towards the student union. Police found and charged the suspect with a misdemeanor Monday afternoon, but is no longer in custody.
And speaking of crime on campus, have you noticed that we've been getting more Alert Carolinas lately?
Maybe I have, Stephen. You spoke with UNC Chief of Police about this. What did he have to say?
I did, and for some context, Sunday's assault we just told you about happened around 6:30 p.m., but we weren't notified until 9:30 that evening. I asked the UNC police chief what protocol they followed for that notification and what causes a delay between a crime being committed and an alert going out.
A call through Crime Stoppers at about 6:30. And so after we get the call through Crime Stoppers, then we had to essentially find the victim to get the information. But we certainly have to vet the information first. So essentially an officer will take a report, will gather the information by speaking with the victim.
Chief James says another factor in delays is how soon somebody reports a crime.
Centoya Brown Long served 15 years of a life sentence for killing a man who bought her for sex as a teen. This Sunday, she'll share her redemption story at the Sonia Haynes Stone Center. Brown Long is expected to talk about her experiences in the criminal justice system and the social media campaign that resulted in her clemency in 2019. She will also discuss her advocacy in a controversial Netflix documentary about her life. To register, go online at stonecenter.unc.edu.
UNC Global's Diplomacy Initiative is hosting Diplomacy Week 2023. 2 events remain in this year's event, the second ever. Tomorrow, the Tackling Global Challenges with Carolina Problem Solvers discussion at the Nelson Mandela Auditorium. And on Friday, catch a screening of Beethoven in Beijing, followed by a Q&A session. Learn more at go.unc.edu/diplomacyweek.
And spotted on campus, a new social media app, Spot. Self-described as unhinged, hyperlocal, and anonymous, Spot was created by 2 Chapel Hill alumni who want to see a more honest approach to social media. Founder Tyler Trasinski said he wants Spot users to feel like they can post without judgment, but rules will still be enforced.
One strike policy if someone isn't is being a jerk on the spot or being racist or being explicit. And we do have the ability to boot them right away.
Spot, spelled SP0T, is available now on the Apple App Store.
UNC's annual Spring Jubilee returns to Hooker Field this Saturday. Starting at 11:30 a.m., you can enjoy food trucks, inflatables, and free swag during the day and performances at night. This year's headliner is rapper Young Nudy, who will perform at 7:30 p.m. And if you're planning to attend, only clear bags will be allowed. Student tickets are on sale right now for $5. You can get those on the Carolina Union website.
The Carolina Center for Public Service announced the winners of its 2023 UNC Public Service Award. These 9 Carolina faculty, students, and organizations on your screen were recognized for their contributions to UNC's campus and its surrounding communities. Go to ccps.unc.edu to learn more about these winners.
Coming up, how could North Carolina's new anti-riot law impact student protests?
Plus, changes coming to a Chapel Hill staple, Mama Dip's Kitchen. What we know and what one of the owners has to say after the break.
There are a lot of words I would use to describe my daughter. Kind, strong, hilarious, When I think about how much she's experienced in her life, we can't help but be inspired by her every day. So really, we are the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
Last week, we told you the Mama Dip's Kitchen location many know and love on Rosemary Street is closing. But the family says it's not goodbye, just see you later. I sat down with one of founder Mildred Cotton Council's daughters to learn what's in store. Mama Dip's Kitchen has been a Chapel Hill staple for decades, drawing in people from all over. After founder Mildred Cotton Council, also known as Mama Dip, died in 2018, her 8 children took over the business. One of them is Spring Council.
Growing up, we was able to do whatever needs to be done. We can cook, we can bake, wash dishes, mop floors.
She remembers when she first started working with her mom.
She was the cook and I was the waitress. And I had no waiting experience.
And while most of the menu remains the same, the business itself has changed a lot since those early days, especially in 2020.
COVID hit and we got through that great. Things got back to normal. And then the staff shortages, and we had to start putting in the work.
This is one reason the family decided to list the iconic Mama Dip's property on Rosemary Street for sale. The price tag, more than $3.5 million. But it wasn't an easy decision, Spring Council says.
We're all at retirement age. I'm 66, I'm the youngest of my siblings. And so we need to find a way that we can create a space, a model that the next generation can take over.
They're still working on exactly what that model will be, but for now, she describes it as fast casual.
People just want to come in and get something quick and go.
Longtime customer Jean Copeland says she'll miss the sit-down experience Mama Dip's offers.
I was sad because of the memories we have here. The family has become family with us. And we know them all by name.
And many Mama Dip's employees are also sad to see an era come to a close.
It's kind of sad because I know that Mama Dip has been here for a trademark in Chapel Hill for such a very long time. I know that our customers are going to miss us, but honestly, it's probably just for the best of the family.
But there's one thing Spring Council says that will never change.
We're just going to keep the same quality of food that we have here.
A promise not only to their customers, but to their mother, too. So I've actually not visited Mama Dip's yet, so that's definitely on my to-do list before they close this location. But it seems like everybody in the community is very upset about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Mama Dip's has been there longer than we've been alive, so it's definitely sad to see it go.
It has been. I'm glad that they're not going far, though. And don't worry if you're a regular. Spring says they hope to open the new restaurant before they close the doors on their historic Rosemary Street location.
Women make up less than 13% of the police force in the entire country, according to Pew Research. It's the same here in North Carolina, which is why some officials are trying to encourage more women to enter the field. Last week, Representatives Deborah Ross and Valerie Foushee introduced the Supporting Women Cops Act. The act would create a federal task force to recommend how police departments can hire more women and advance them into leadership positions. Here in Chapel Hill, the police department is bringing back the Girls Empowered Motivated Spectacular initiative, also known as GEMS. The 6-week program invites young women to explore future opportunities in local government and community safety. Sergeant Prairie Osborne says access to this type of program is crucial for girls.
There's not always a lot of opportunity to see people who look like me in a career that I might be interested in. When I grew up in the western part of the state, there weren't female law enforcement officers.
The GEMS application closes on the 30th and the program starts on May 11th.
Orange County is seeing the highest life expectancy in North Carolina, leading by almost 9 years compared to more rural counties. Experts believe that geographic and socioeconomic disparities in access to health care are major contributing factors to these discrepancies. While Orange County does have a relatively good standing within the state, the county's Department of Aging director says there's a gap in who they're reaching because residents aren't always aware of their resources.
To let them know what's available for them. And, I hate it when I hear, folks say, well, I didn't know, this was offered or that. because we work very hard to get the word out about our services and our partners' services here in the county. Many years ago,
View of North Carolina wants to block anti-riot legislation that just became law last month. This comes amid protests on campus over claims of a UNC law student being banned from campus. Walter Renke has the story.
With bipartisan support, House Bill 40 passed into law, increasing punishments for participating in or inciting a riot. It also creates new crimes for involvement in a riot that causes death.
Craft a bill that balances the need for safety and security with the fundamental right that every American has to protest.
But if the ACLU of North Carolina gets their way, certain provisions of the bill couldn't be enforced. The group argues that the new law's definition of a riot is too broad, and peaceful protesters in a demonstration that turns violent could be punished. Also, any assembly with violence could be deemed a riot, which gives police officers a lot of discretion in how to enforce the law. That means the law could inhibit North Carolinians' constitutional freedom of speech and assembly rights. Sam Davis, the attorney representing the ACLU of NC in the case, says that the law is meant to crack down on protest.
Rather than looking to solve the kinds of problems that protesters are surfacing, it's a way to crack down on dissent and stifle these kinds of claims that are really threatening to the existing status quo.
Just last week, more than 100 students marched and chanted from the UNC School of Law to the South Building to deliver a petition of more than 500 signatures protesting what they say is the ban of Jamie Marcicano from campus. Marcicano was arrested and charged with domestic terrorism after breaching a police training center in Atlanta last month. In the petition, students argue that Marcicano is not a danger to campus and that she should not have been banned before being found guilty of any charges. Friends describe her as a kind person who reached out during times of need. Nicholas Hatcher, one of the protest organizers, recounted times when Marcicano helped her fellow classmates.
I think there's just so many ways in which Jamie really shows up for other people and really cares about other people that kind of really gets at the heart of who they are.
In Chapel Hill, I'm Walter Rinke, Carolina Week.
UNC Media Relations told Carolina Week in a statement, while they are aware of the student walkout, they cannot comment on Marcicano's status.
If you're looking for plans this weekend, consider Sustainable Carolina on Thursday and then head over to the town of Carrboro for their Earth Day celebration on Saturday. At Sustainable Carolina on Thursday, join in on celebrating sustainability projects on campus this year at Rams Head Plaza. Carolina Dining Services, Campus Rec, UNC Libraries, and Mapleview will provide the entertainment and the snacks. Then on Saturday afternoon, visit Carrboro's Earth Day Festival in the Carrboro Town Commons. You'll find vegan and vegetarian food vendors, art, music, a parade, and an electric car show.
Well, I certainly don't want to miss out on that music and that parade. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Absolutely, and hopefully the weather's going to be good for that as well.
Well, we're actually going to be checking in on that with CW meteorologist Corey Kowitz. Let's see what that weather looks like for these outdoor events.
Yeah, guys, happy Earth Week. Earth Day in particular is on your Saturday, April 22nd. So if you're passionate about the Earth, I hope you are, and treating it right and keeping it beautiful, practice these sustainability activities. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Well, of course, you've heard it before. Just reiterating it. Well, on the days leading up to Earth Day, Mother Nature is going to treat us with some great weather. Here we have a surface map. We had the high pressure the last few days keeping us dry, parked over the region. It's moved slightly east, changing the wind patterns. We have the clockwise rotation of the high, advecting a little bit more warmer air from the south. The dry air and the air being moved from the south will make it a beautiful day today. If we take a look here at our temperature map, in the mid 80s here in the Triangle region up to our north, around the Virginia border, more in the low 80s, and down to our friends in South Carolina, more in the high to mid 80s, a little bit warmer. However, guys, I'm monitoring a system for Saturday into Saturday night here. This is a projected radar of Saturday evening. You can see a large swath line of rain right out ahead of that cold front, maybe with some embedded within that, some thunderstorms here. We have a nice sharp cold front, warm air being advected right out ahead of that. It's going to supply us with some rain, maybe filling us with thunderstorms. And once again, I'm going to be looking at a few variables to determine if we have a severe weather event on tap. I'm not so bullish about the severe weather, but still something to monitor. Nothing is standing out to me in terms of any variables to produce some severe weather. Shear, again, that's the ability for the storms to get big, multicellular, and strong. 2A and 2B, I'd say a little bit better chance of having some stronger shear. Again, dew points will be in the moisture supplying these storms will be somewhat high, but not impressive. And then the lift, again, that's the ability for the air to rise, producing those towering thunderstorms. Again, not so big, but again, make sure to monitor it as severe weather does change rapidly. So make sure to check as the days get closer to Saturday. The cold front racing in behind us, as you saw, that's creating these thunderstorms. We're going to be sweeping in, giving us a punch of cold air. You can see, I think this temperature map is actually a little bit too warm. I predict it to be into the 30s for Sunday night into Monday morning, making a cool beginning of your work/school week. And again, breaking down the rest of your work week, summarizing it, beautiful day, maybe not even a cloud in the sky for your Wednesday in the low to mid 80s, increasing to the high 80s, a little bit, a few cloud covers still remaining dry. And again, a similar day warm and a few clouds for the end of your week. But again, the rain gets introduced into the region, maybe some thunderstorms Saturday, late afternoon, evening, and throughout the night, clearing out on the back end, cooling down as that cold front sweeps through and drying out. Once again, we're looking at a beautiful week and warm week. How warm is it usually this time of year? And that brings me to our third installment of the weather trivia. And the question is, what is the average temperature for this time of the year, April 19th? So, guys, what do we think?
Well, I am so excited to do trivia. I really love when it's warm outside, so I'm going to go with the highest temperature, B, 73 degrees.
All right, what do you think?
And as much as I love the warm weather, I think North Carolina has some tricks up the state sleeves, so I'm going to have to go with A, 70 degrees.
Okay, good answers, guys. Well, you're going to have to stick around with us after the break for the answer.
Also, after the break, Sports Extra anchor Caitlin Schmidt tells us if this heat is coming from the sun or from the mound.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping, and I can't let this happen to my kid. So if you want to talk to your kids, you have to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
All right, guys, thanks for sticking around. Here's the answer. The answer actually is 73, so congratulations.
Yes.
So a little bit above average here in the low 80s for today. Wow.
That is awesome.
Beautiful weather.
I'm excited. Well,
absolutely.
joining us now is Sports Extra's Caitlin Schmidt with a recap of our Diamond Heels and other Carolina athletics.
Thanks, Kelly. To see if this beautiful weather led to beautiful gameplay from our student athletes, let's take a look at the Diamond Heels. They were looking to bounce back from the weekend series loss Tuesday afternoon in their matchup against the Charlotte 49ers for the second time this season. Johnny Castagnazzi's hit to left field in the third got the Heels rolling. Consistency from the bullpen has been crucial this season, and relief pitching was strong against the 49ers. Tomas Frick shot the ball down the right field line to advance Hunter Stokely and score Matt Horvath to put the Diamond Heels up 3-2. Stepping up to the plate once again, Matt Horvath sent a homer just left of the scoreboard for 2 RBIs, scoring Jackson Van de Break. Finding the finisher has been a concern for the bullpen, but Kevin Easy got it done Tuesday evening. The Tar Heels defeated the 49ers 5-3.
Those are the type of wins. If you're going to be a great team, you got to find a way to win, because we've lost some close games, especially one-run games. So that's what I'm proud of our guys, especially our pitchers and our defense.
2 UNC men's golf team members have been named semifinalists for the Ben Hogan Award. Sophomore David Ford and senior Austin Greaser are among 10 semifinalists for this prestigious honor. Ford is ranked number 3 in the country and is on pace to bring the single season record for UNC and number 1 career scoring by a Tar Heel. Greaser is number 2 in the UNC career stroke average and a 2 all-time ACC player. 3 finalists will be chosen on May 4th, with the final selection to follow on the 22nd. On Thursday, the women's lacrosse team will travel down Tobacco Road to take on the Blue Devils to end their regular season. UNC and Duke are both coming off eerily similar games. The Heels just lost to Syracuse in a tough battle in which the Orange edged out the Heels 14-12. Duke fell to the Louisville Cardinals 14-13. Duke's Maddie Jenner is the NCAA D1 leader in draw controls and has 770 in her career. UNC's Alyssa Long also proved her prowess in draw controls as she recorded a career-high 8 against the Orange. Carolina's Caitlin Wurzberger is 1 goal away from the 100th of her career and 2 assists away from being tied for UNC's 5th all-time. Both teams are hungry for a win. After earning a series victory against Syracuse, the UNC softball team returns to Anderson Stadium tonight to take on Campbell. Abby Settlemeyer led the Heels for Carolina against the Orange, going 3 for 6 on the plate with 4 RBIs. She ranks second on the team with a .382 batting average and ranks first with 8 home runs. She will look to continue her success against the Camels, who are 30-12 on the year, led by Isabella Smith in the circle. She holds a 1.69 ERA through 174 innings. Having won 6 of their past 7, the Tar Heels hope to continue their winning ways tonight. Today, we bring you the highlights of the inaugural Black Sports Business Symposium held in Atlanta, Georgia, powered through ESPN. Reporter Jalen Harrell was one of the 100 students invited to the symposium, which took place in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
The Black Business Symposium is a 4-day-long event catered to young Black journalists who aspire to make it in the sports industry. Keynote speakers such as Clutch Sports CEO Rich Paul, South Carolina women's head coach Dawn Staley, and sports reporter Maria Taylor were present on the main field to share their knowledge and experiences with participants. Inside the stadium, there were various workshops and seminars to choose from. Participants could learn and network with different reporters, influencers, athletes, and even recruiters from ESPN. Trishelle Kamani, an aspiring sports reporter, shares how it felt to be able to speak with one of her idols.
Asking that question to Maria Taylor was absolutely amazing. My heart was racing, and I asked her a question about how to stop your heart from racing, and my heart was racing when I was asking her that question. Overall, Maria Taylor is just Maria Taylor. Everyone knows that. She's the most authentic, amazing reporter.
I had an amazing experience at the symposium, getting a chance to network with fellow participants and successful Black journalists who have made their mark in the industry. The symposium offered an excellent opportunity for journalists to connect, learn, and grow their skills in this sports industry. Alexis Johnson, a Hussman School graduate, is one of many journalists who helped put the symposium together. It is her hope that the experience opens many doors and opportunities for students.
I hope students understand the importance of networking. I'm sure many of them already do, but I want to make sure students understand that it's important, of course, to network with executives and folks who, of course, have already been there, but it's also important to network with one another.
This is just the second year of the Black Business Symposium, and the organization plans to return to Atlanta next year for an even bigger and better symposium. In Atlanta, I'm Jalen Harrell, reporting for Sports Extra.
Tune into Sports Extra Friday morning for more on this weekend's Carolina athletics schedule. More Carolina news coming up next. We'll be right back.
It's important to get a flu shot each and every year because flu viruses are constantly changing and immunity from the vaccine decreases over time. Flu vaccines are updated annually to work against that year's viruses. The best time to get your shot is in the fall, but getting it later can still help. Getting a flu shot lowers your risk of getting sick, and if you do happen to get flu, it's likely to be less severe.
Well, the Bell Tower Climb is a tried and true senior year tradition at UNC, and it's actually happening right now. Our Sarah Choi is live at the Bell Tower. Sarah, what's going on out there? We apologize for that. Our Sarah Choi is having technical difficulties, but the event is from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. today. They're not letting anybody bring Sharpies to write on the bricks like they normally do. So it's a little bit of sadness with that tradition, but glad they're keeping it up
this year. But it is still fun for our seniors to get to go all the way up there. I'm personally I'm looking forward to it next year.
I am too. I cannot wait.
We'll have to do it together, Stephen. We can go live from the top.
Absolutely. I'll bring the camera.
It's definitely a special moment for our seniors, but there was another mic drop moment at last night's Senior Week event. This year's last lecture featured John Thomas Kurd, Distinguished Professor and Dean Emerita for the UNC Hussman School of Media and Journalism, Susan King. She announced this is her last semester at the university as dean. Journalism became the second largest major at the university under her leadership, and the school also surpassed its $75 million fundraising goal.
Wow, what a legacy to leave.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. King.
Yes, we will miss you here at Carolina. Well, two Carolina broadcasting favorites are back in action. Carolina Now and Carolina Ora, the short social media news briefs, are entirely run by student volunteers right here in our beautiful Curtis Media Center.
Absolutely. Join the newest members of our live team every Tuesday and Thursday afternoons on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram for daily updates on Carolina news and happenings in both English and Spanish. And if you want to join us next semester, head over to the link on your screen and on our website. Thanks for watching this edition of Carolina Week. You can find all of this fun reporting and some great behind-the-scenes content on our website, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, basically everywhere. Be sure to tune in next week for our last show of the semester.
And if you just can't get enough of us, find more Carolina news on tomorrow's Carolina Now and Carolina Ora. They'll both go live tomorrow afternoon. Thanks and have a great week.